And great crowd. Great to have the kids out here. I was driving in this morning, wondering if maybe this had outlived its purpose, but just a tremendous turnout today. So it was good for our players to have a chance to sign some autographs. We had the kids captains here, and I think we did some good things today. But as you probably saw, we got a lot of work to do still, and not a lot of time to do it. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Is today a good day for the young guys to simulate a little bit of a game experience?
Just having fans of any number here is important, I think. And we had the music and all the distractions you have to deal with in game day, so at least they get their feet wet that way. And for the guys that were here last year, it's another step for them. But it helps.
The kicking game, especially place kicking, seems to really be up in the air. No one has any consistency, it looks like. How concerned are you with that 2 weeks out now?
Not as concerned as I was in April, but today was not a good day place kicking-wise. Ironically, that's probably been one of the highlights, I think, of camp. I was not real overwhelmed with what we were doing on the field, punting or kicking last spring. But I think both those areas have really looked pretty good for whatever this is, 16 practices up until today. So today, to me, was kind of uncharacteristic of what we've seen, and hopefully we can work through that. But I think we're in better shape than we were. I think Marshall's had a pretty good camp. McEllis has done a nice job, and Miguel's doing a good job too. He's just a little bit younger and needs a little bit more development. But all three guys, I think, offer some hope for us.
Not injury-wise, you got a lot of guys out today. Can you update?
Yeah, that's talk about negatives of camp. That's one of them. And unfortunately, Adam Cox tore his ACL. He had that repaired on Thursday, so we're going to lose him for this season. And then beyond that, we've just had way too many camp injuries, which is 3 days, 4 days, all that kind of stuff, and it's really hard to establish continuity. It's hard for us to move forward when you get that many guys out, and I'm sure we're like every team in America, but it just seems like we have a few more than we need, and be better for the team if we could kind of clean that up.
Was Adam just put on scholarship, Bill?
He was, yeah, he was. So that's the bright side at least, and the other bright side is he's not a senior. So at least he's got another year.
Several freshmen, Coach, were out there, Taylor and Nelson and Neiman. Is there a chance some true freshmen will play Kinnick this season?
Yeah, and part of that's by due to injury, and then other part, some of that's been merited by their performance. So, we're not ruling anything out right now. We got a lot of decisions to make this coming week. I think the next 7 days, and even the next 24 hours, I think we have to start settling in and really zeroing in on what our combinations are going to be, and so we can work them and make sure they are what we think they are. So yeah, we kind of all have an open mind right now, and we'll have some conversation tomorrow after we look at the tape and see where we're going.
A couple freshman linebackers getting in there too with Bo and Josie. Talk about that a little bit and what the progression of that has been the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, both those guys did a good job in the spring, and those two guys in particular, and then Ben Neiman's jumped in the fray a little bit too. And again, really outside of Quentin, I don't think we're totally established with anything. I feel really good about Q. Chad Gilson was doing a good job, then he got an injury Tuesday, so he hasn't been out since then. So we're just kind of, looking at guys, evaluating them, but Bo and Josie are both guys that ought to be really good special teams players for us, and hopefully they'll, help us on from scrimmage too.
Maben was a guy who didn't play either, Greg Maben. Has he been playing corner?
He's been having a good camp, yeah. We've kept him strictly at corner, and, so I'd expect him back, maybe not tomorrow, but Monday for sure. And hopefully we can get him back out there, but he's doing a good job.
At corner, opposite Desmond, Sean, does he have an edge there right now, or is that still kind of a battle between him and Andrews?
No, it's been a three-way deal, and I would say it's still there. I think Greg has really done a good job. He's been out. He just went out 2 days ago, I think it was. So having a hard time keeping track of everybody. Reese has missed a little time, but I think it's up for grabs right now.
Is Jordan, are you seeing out of him from a safety spot? He talked about the cerebral end of it and adapting to that. Are you seeing that as far as him calling a defense?
I think he's coming right along, and he's not the most vocal guy naturally, but I think he's doing a good job with that. He works at it really hard, and he's had a really good camp. And it's not quite like Quentin Alston, he's probably Quentin a year ago, I guess, where all of a sudden, hey, you can see why this guy would play well, and I feel like Jordan's got that capability. And he was a starter last year at this time, and then just had that injury. But we're really pleased with the way he's coming along.
CJ's growth, decision-making wise,
Is it where
Yeah,
you
he's
wanna
doing
see it?
good. He's doing good, and yeah, he had a throw or two Tuesday that I think he'd like to have back. At least we'd like him to have him back, and I think he feels the same way. And maybe one or two today, but he's doing a good job. Yeah, he's working hard at it.
Has he wedged his way into? We had that discussion.
Yeah, I mean, we feel good about both guys, and he just like he's improved, Jake's improved too, and it's probably not as. When a starter gets better, it's not like a big story, but Jake's really improved. So, we feel confident with both guys.
Kirk, will Cox's injury impact the way you use Weissman?
Hopefully not, but, if we had to, we could use Mark as a fullback. But hopefully we can, keep him where he is and keep him fresh. But, yeah, the good news is he's totally capable of that.
And those guys, Mark and Damon, you didn't play them today, but I imagine they're totally fine.
We really haven't done much with them live for obvious reasons. They both have had their share. And Jordan, we've limited his as well, but he wanted to work today, and we reciprocated on that one. But those three guys, we've seen them in game action, so I think we feel pretty confident with who they are.
Has George been doing that all camp? George Kittle been running around.
He's done a good job. I'll tell you who else. We've had tight ends miss some time, so Henry Craig McCoble has really improved. I think he's one of our more improved players on our team right now. So. That's how it works sometimes when guys get injured. Other guys have an opportunity to show what they. And plus, I think he's just a better player. He's developed since spring, so that's encouraging. And I mentioned him. On the other side of the ball, Nate Meyer, I think, is really taking a big step. If you go back from April, so it's little things like that really help, and hopefully it'll all come together.
You scrimmage again one more time before the opener?
If we do, it'll be really limited, and I doubt many first-team guys will be in there. I think this traditionally is kind of where we end up.
Okay.
But if we have to do something, we will. But I don't really foresee it.
How is the health of
We
receivers?
all start getting scared about now. Coaches do.
How's the health of receivers versus Matt Vandenberg was getting in there? It was a busy day for him, doing lots of stuff for him.
Yeah.
Is he going to contribute that way, or is he feeling
He'll
void?
play a lot. Yeah, no, he'll play a lot. And I think overall we've been pretty healthy. Derek pulled up yesterday, the minor leg thing, shouldn't be bad. He had a good night Tuesday night, and then warm-ups yesterday, couldn't go. And then Riley came down hard over there, so that's concerning right now on that nice catch he made.
Is there Jalen Embry? I didn't see him out there. Is he injured?
He couldn't go today. Yeah, couldn't go today.
Is there any injury that's more than sweatpants?
Well, no. The big thing was Adam, like I mentioned, and I'm waiting for a report on Riley. I know they're concerned about it. He hit the ground pretty hard, so hopefully it's nothing major. We'll see.
Is there any other true freshmen who you're kind of counting on right now? Or
No, pretty much what you saw today. Guys are getting work, and we haven't had that discussion. We'll have to do that this week. Figure out, if there's anybody we're going to use on special teams or use to help our depth. I don't see anybody starting right now, at least at this given point. But we just like everything else, we got to keep an open mind, and especially the younger guys. Week 3, they may stride more than some other guys that have been around a little while. So we'll give them a chance.
Could your depth right now in the offensive line, that seemed to be a concern for you a few weeks ago. Do you feel better about it?
Yeah, I think we've made progress, but we're not there. It's the next question, like who's going in if something happens, and we probably have 3 candidates for the next guy in type deal. But I think that whole group overall has improved. But it's just that's a battle we'll be fighting all year, probably just because we're going to graduate a couple good players here at the end of this year, so it's just we got to keep working there.
I think you're the only guy in the country with 2 left tackles who played quarterback in high school.
That is kind of unique, isn't it? Yeah, I thought of that about a week ago. You're right about that. And
well, it's
sounds like
interesting.
Sheriff's a bigger passer of the 2 too, based on what I know.
Yeah, but you look at your history in the offensive line. You have guys like Sheriff who are always leading guys like Ike to the next level. That's kind of part of the whole thing.
They've roomed together this year, and they lived together this summer, going back that far. And that's just one of the nice things about a player like Brandon Sheriff. But we've had a lot of guys like that historically that were not only good players, but they were really good mentors to other guys. So to think Ike's going to play like him this year, or even, but pretty good guy to follow as far as way to do things.
Well, you look back when Brandon was a redshirt freshman, he had James on one side and Riley on the other. Now You got Walsh, who has Brandon and Blythe, so that's a pretty good position.
It's a pretty good
learning
deal.
thing.
And
right?
that's important because Sean is a young guy right now, and it's a lot of stuff's happening fast for him. So at least that helps a little bit.
Could you potentially rotate punters and kickers in games this year, or do you want to make a decision?
It's possible. Maybe a situational type thing too, but we'll talk about all that this week. But it's punting has almost been dead even. It's interesting. If you look at the numbers, they have some differences, but the numbers are almost identical. And the kickers, again, today was not representative of what we've seen. Hopefully it's not representative of what we do in Kinnick. That's the next question, because we're not going to be playing games out on the practice field. So, but your guys really concerned about that right now. I feel like we're at least making progress and can see some hope there.
There's some teams in the Big Ten that are opening neutral sites, Wisconsin and Penn State. You did it a couple of years ago, but it was kind of a different scenario. Would you ever consider doing that, or is that?
The Chicago thing to me personally, it makes sense only because of our student body, the amount of Chicagoland students we have in our student body, and I think the people, at least seems like in 25 years living here, people like Iowa, like going in for a weekend. They're not playing the game; they're just going to have a good time. It seems like they have a great time. So I think that makes sense. The bad news is you got to play Northern Illinois is an excellent team, but overall I kind of like being here if we can, and you're always wrestling with that 7 home game deal. That's always a big issue too.
So it wouldn't be you would go to see Jerry or Oklahoma, Alabama.
Not to sound like a party pooper, but I just if I was coaching at Alabama, I might be more interested in those games. But like for us, we gotta we're just trying to build something usually in September, and it's I'm not sure that'd be the smartest thing for us to do. Unless we just really timed it up right. But I don't know. It's not something I'm really worried about now. Thanks.